Well, good afternoon, everyone. Maclovio Perez, 25 News Now on your top of the hour weather update, because Beryl is actually rolling into town sometime in the next few hours. As a matter of fact, Beryl is right about here. The coordinates you can see right about here, 26.3 north and 95.3 west. It is continuing to strengthen. So right now it's at 65 miles an hour in wind strength, and it is a forecast to get up to 75 this afternoon. So it may be a minimum hurricane, but still a hurricane. Now the path of it now moves it right over Matagorda Bay. Those of you that are east of Matagorda are going to get the heaviest rain. If you're west of Matagorda, you're not going to get quite as heavy, but it's going to be very windy. So you can imagine if the 65-mile-an-hour winds are here, it's going to start rolling up toward the coast. Pressures are going to start getting rather windy, and conditions are going to deteriorate for the rest of the afternoon. First of all, we're going to start getting these bands of rain beginning to come across our area, and then the actual storm center will move right about there. Now, those of you in Calhoun County and Port Lavaca and those areas, get ready, because you're going to have probably 60, 70-mile-an-hour winds. So anything that blows away will blow away. So now's the time to lock it down and close it up or bring it inside. You don't want anything left out there that might float around. Second, we do have, of course, the storm surge problem, so we're encouraging everybody to get to higher ground, either in Victoria or Cuero. You don't have to go that far. You just need to be to higher ground. Go visit a friend or something, because the stormy weather will be getting stronger during the afternoon and evening. And then the good news is, I'm always looking for good news, as the storm comes through, does its bit, then by Monday afternoon starts moving very quickly to the northeast. Now the storm itself will be gone, but we're still going to have lots of leftover moisture to continue the shower chance. Now here's the weird part. There's the path pretty much there, and you can see how the right side of the storm, it's much stronger. So from Matagorda, Port O'Connor, heading up to Edna, Wharton, they're going to be looking at much heavier rain. 5 to 7 inches toward the Houston area and in Beaumont. And yet, on the other side, to the dry side of the storm is what we call, less than an inch in Goliad. So kind of an unusual situation. The whole thing is, shall we say, changed around because of the path of it. Originally, the path of the storm was going to come up south of Brownsville. Now it's right over Port Lavaca, and it's going to go even into the Hallettsville area. You're going to get some fairly strong winds. Remember, it's going to be rotating like this and going up. So the heavy rain is on this side, the drier side is on that side, and the winds will be the issue. Now here's pretty much the path of it, and we do have hurricane warnings. That means hurricane conditions, which is 75 miles an hour, and the big stormy weather will be with us tonight and tomorrow. When does it actually move ashore? Well, if you concentrate on the center, that'll be about 2 o'clock in the morning. But just consider, all of us are going to be dealing with some very high winds overnight. Now, additionally, we have the storm surge. All of these counties, and we're talking from Houston all the way down into Matagorda, here's Port Lavaca, you're going to get a storm surge of 4 to 6 feet. Now, 4 to 6 feet, that means that the ocean water will be coming up on land and sweeping inland. Remember, the winds are going to be howling this way, so you can imagine how far inland that water is going to be. If you're in this zone, I really would encourage you to seek higher ground, unless you are on higher ground, or unless you figure you're going to be brave. But we know that the water is going to come ashore as the storm comes in. So can you deal with 4 to 6 foot tides? Now this is on top of what we get as a high tide. So consider the inland flooding very high as we go inland. Now here is at 3 o'clock on Sunday, which is today. You can see the storm here. And then we move forward, and there you see at about, what time is that? At 8 o'clock tonight, we start getting the heavy rain bands moving through the region. So there will be periods of big thunderstorms, and the winds are just going to be getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Then at about 10 midnight, you can see the storm pretty much just beginning to move ashore. Again, over here from Victoria and not over here. So that sort of helps us out in terms of overall flooding, but the winds are going to move very strong through our area as well. lots of trees down, and very likely, I'm not, you can't guarantee anything, but we may lose power tonight because of the winds that are going to be whipping around the region. So very high winds coming in, and then it moves up into the Houston I-10 corridor with the heavy rain sort of departing by the time we get to Monday night. Now, Monday night, we're still getting showers and thunder showers on the back side of the system, just not nearly as much as they're getting on the front side of the system. So we are under a hurricane warning. We expect hurricane conditions, minimum 75-mile-an-hour winds overnight as the system moves ashore. Now, here's the way the winds are rolling. You see the arrows here? It's going in this fashion, and then we get up to 2 a.m. There you see the center right about here going in this direction. So the winds are going to be howling through the area as it passes through. The rain's heaviest on the east side, not so heavy on the west side. Still not a lovely evening. In fact, we should just go home, watch TV, have a cup of coffee, watch it pass through. Coastal flooding along the beaches, that's also part of the storm surge. High tides will be higher than normal. Rip currents are very strong right now, so be very cautious. Seas are going to be 4 to 8 feet, so obviously small craft needs to be in. And choppy waters, we'll just call it rough as well, with the gusty winds. Now, in the city, in Victoria, we're probably looking at the 40-mile-an-hour wind range. The storm center is where the Port Lavaca, Point Comfort, those areas are going to be getting the 60 to 75-mile-an-hour winds as well. Temperatures, it's not a big deal because of the overcast. We're going to be in the 80s, and tomorrow, being Monday, is a day that we are expecting possibly up to 4 inches of rain all day long. So it's pretty much a washout for Monday, as you see right about there. And Cuero, pretty much same thing. Isolated thunderstorms pretty much all day long. So we've got the alert days for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, because right here, even though the storm itself is gone, we've just got a lot of moisture coming out of the skies, and we're going to have some substantial rainfall. So there will be some sort of flooding. With a little luck, by Wednesday we'll get a few breaks in the cloud. It'll be stormy as we get into the rest of the week, but at least we won't have the 75-mile-an-hour winds to deal with. So Beryl is coming to town tonight after midnight. Get ready for the high winds. If you have things outside that need to be moved inside, now's the time to do it, because probably after sundown, the storms are going to start getting a little bit on the stronger side as the rain bands start moving ashore. So we'll be here with you, giving you updates every hour on the hour. 25 News Now will be here through the duration of the storm. The staff is in. Everybody's ready to go, follow the storm with you. So shelter in place. Stay home, don't be driving around in the rough stuff, and just remember, tonight the stuff gets heavy and it's going to be very strong pretty much all day Monday. So leave it right here on 25 News Now, and we'll have the latest for you. Of course, we've got our news coming up at 5 and 6 and then at 10 o'clock tonight. So stay tuned, and we'll be having more on Beryl coming into town.